Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy M.K.S here. Back with another video. I was going to make this last night, but I didn't go. Fortunately, I was watching too many YouTube videos and I didn't go to sleep till about, I can't remember what time it was, but it was really late. Uh, excuse me, it's like probably about 2 o'clock or something like that. But so I was thinking I could just get this out of the way before the morning, and at least I've got one of my tasks I wanted to do done. But I thought I want to make sure I do as good job as possible, so hopefully at least do a half decent job as best as possible. So I thought I'd wait till the morning. Unfortunately, I woke up this morning still feeling like a zombie, so or half dead or whatever, half alive, the living dead or whatever they call it. But so I was knackered. So in the morning as well. So unfortunately, I didn't manage to sleep early or whatnot. And I was probably wasting a lot of my time watching YouTube videos sometimes, but I did do a little bit of writing at least to get a few things done, hopefully. But anyway, today, as I've talked about the patterns that I have, well, actually, I'm going to get onto the list anyway. But because the 23rd, I wish to do think about fundraising, helping poor people, and just general philanthropy and charity and stuff like that. Excuse me. Which I normally do anyway, but specifically hope to focus on that today and people from poor backgrounds. So hopefully pretty much all I do today will be focusing on helping people. I hope that's the plan. Anyway, onto the list. I don't want this video to be too long, as I can say. Number one, I hope to think of others more than myself as much as possible today. It's not always easy to do, obviously. I was thinking of like a quote I've heard of, a biblical quote about denying yourself and taking up the cross. But I'm thinking, well, it's kind of like a religious thing, but I'm thinking of helping the poor. And I think I've often talked about not being hugely spiritual or religious, but I'm thinking of the biblical quote about what you do to the lowest amongst you is what you do to me. But I don't want to be too hypocritical or come across as holier than thou, or give a false impression that like I'm a really religious or spiritual guy who goes to the church or anything like that, because that's not really true. So I do want to keep the channel as honest as possible. But anyway, so I hope to think of others, but obviously, as I've talked before about, there's no purely altruistic motive or action. I think a lot of time we do things because they make us feel good, or in many people's case they think they make more money will make them feel good or whatever, which may or may not be true. But anyway, so I hope to think of others and poorer people around the world. But at this moment in time, because I've talked about in April, May, June, and parts of August, like probably a quarter of August as well, because August is my birthday month, so I'm hoping to support as many groups as I can from what I call the four, and also a place like Ireland and all that sort of stuff. But at the moment, I'm hoping to focus on Asia, so I'm hoping to think of how to help the poorest people across Asia, especially at this moment in time. April, May, and June, as I say, so for a fair while, yeah. And I say a quarter of August because in August I hope to also support people from Africa, Indigenous, Australasians, and Indigenous or Native Americans, people of the Americas and all that. Like I often think of the term Indigenous, but you can say, like, if I said just Indigenous, you can say, well, many people are Indigenous, like even in Europe, they're probably, some of them at least, are Indigenous to where they're from, if you know what I mean. But so I specifically say Indigenous, taking it literally, Indigenous Americans, people of the Americas, like Brazil, all over the Americas, Mexico, and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, we're trying to get on with the list. I don't want to waffle too much, but I hope that made sense. Number two, I hope to point number two, I hope to possibly listen to other people's advice and suggestions about how to help other people. What's the best way to help other people, especially, I'd say, from Asian backgrounds, from the Asian background and the diaspora, and also Asian nations in particularly. Like how to help homeless people in Asia. What's the best way to fundraise for them to build more houses, or at least shelter accommodation, so that people can have houses in places like Vietnam and Iraq and all over Asia, as I say. In India, where there's still lots of homeless people despite the growth of the economy. And I know I've talked about these things before, but I really hope to focus as much as I can on those and listen to people who know a lot more than I do. Anyway, so yeah, I hope to learn as much as I can about how to help other people, how to work on philanthropy, how to network, and I hope anyone who wants to network and support poor people around the world, especially, as I say, in Asia at this moment, but just generally, but I'm mainly focused on Asia, but yeah, I hope to connect with philanthropic or charitable people and organizations and things like that, whether they're religious or non-religious or just charities or whatever. If I believe they do a good job in what they do, then I hope to work with them. Number three, I talked before about giving my stuff away that I know I've got a hoarding problem, but I'm hoping to, because I never like throwing things away, well, very rarely. And, as I say, one person's trash is another person's treasure. So I always like to keep things, but we could just save space. And like I talked about before, about not wanting confrontation with my family or to annoy them or upset them all. And also, that stuff is just there and it's not really helping anyone else. So I want to use it to help other people. Like I was going to I forgot about this, but I was going to, maybe in some of my other videos I will today show examples of things I hope to give away and how I hope people in Asia will use it. But yeah, so freebies and trying to encourage other people to send things to Asia that they no longer want to or need, and how to make the best possible use of things so to help as many people as possible. What things could be used for to help people, basically. I hope that makes sense. Excuse me. Number 4. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry, I always have. Everybody knows. Number 4. I hope I talked before about the 4, which I was just support. I would say at the moment I'm supporting or trying to support people from Asia as much as I can. But the four which I talked about before, which are like indigenous or native people from Australasia, Oceania, Aborigines, Maoris, people like that, Africa, the Americas, and as I say at the moment, Asia. So I'm hoping to network those together and help them to, like, Pan-Asianism and Pan-Africanism, and like Egypt, to host as many summits, conferences, and events as possible to. My voice is not going, it feels like it's going, but I hope you can hear me clearly enough. To host as many summits, events, conferences, and general events as possible to unite together Asia and Africa, and maybe even indigenous Australasians and people from the Americas, but especially people from Africa and Asia, to network and how they can improve relations and see what things they have in common. Like, they were both colonized and they both still have a lot of problems, and they can help each other to tackle poverty in their nations and things like that. So I hope to network them together and talk about how they can make peace with each other and just support each other generally, and talk about their goals and how they can help each other achieve their goals and what they can learn from each other and things like that. And people of colour, I hope to also support, encourage them. At this moment in time, I hope to encourage them to support Asia, and at other times Africa, Australasia, and say indigenous Australasians and Native Americans and that sort of thing. Like in July, Native Americans, and also in August and September. And number 5, I hope to, as I say, support these groups as much as possible, and not wanting to be too morbid about it, but like in my will, I dream to leave I dream to dedicate my body to science, so that they can use it in Asia or wherever, and see what experiments they can do to advance humanity, like, as I say, in my will and all that. And also hope to leave all my notebooks and paperwork, so hopefully they'll benefit people and whoever needs them. And my ideas and my plans and my money and everything else, I hope to leave that in my will to what I call the 4. So it's difficult because I want to support the 4, but at this moment in time, I'm as I say, the 4, I put in quotation marks, but at this moment in time, I'm mainly trying to focus on Asia. But yeah, how they can work together to tackle poverty around the world as well, which I hope to come to. Number 6, I hope to do my best that I can to help other people as much as I can for what resources I do have. ASAP, really, and just do the best I can. Number 7, I hope to get as much help as possible to do that sort of stuff, to help other people, and especially from above, I hope God will guide me to help other people as much as possible, say I'm not a churchgoer, but I do believe in God. So I'm not the most spiritual or religious, but I still want to. I still believe in that aspect of Christianity, like giving to other people, trying to put other people first if you can. I'm not saying I'm never selfish or anything like that, because that would be a lie. But yeah, I hope that God will help me to help other people. Sorry if this video is a bit long. Number 8, I'd say I hope for people of colour, and generally people who are against white supremacy or neo-nationalism, far right, whatever. People who are against hate and extremism will help countries in Asia and Africa to network together to tackle nations in Asia and Africa, to help them to tackle extremism and to help them build their economies, and how much that would annoy people who are from white supremacists or neo-Nazis or people from far right, whatever you want to call them, extreme right, whatever. And by extreme right, by those terms, white supremacists, neo-Nazis, far right, extreme right, whatever, I use those terms interchangeably, and not sure why, but anyway, I use those terms interchangeably. And what I mean by that is that those terms, sorry, is that people who hate other people, people who hate people of colour or whatever. So yeah, I hope for people of colour, and also just generally anyone who is against extremism or hatred, to support support Asian nations, and for generally, but at this moment in time, Asia, and hope to encourage as many people as possible to support Asia with love instead of hate. 9, I hope to do as much writing as I can. As I say, hopefully helping other people, but I might also think of my own dreams, but I generally hope to think of other people as much as I can as well. And 10, I hope to look at the best possible ways to help the poorest 10% of people in all possible countries, 10% poorest people in every possible country and nation, especially in Asia at this moment in time, and most disadvantaged people and young people, giving young Asian people opportunities, especially from slums, orphanages, people with learning disabilities, or physical, mental, and learning disabilities as well. Sorry if I waffled, but I hope you like this video. I'd love to have your advice or any tips you have. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and share the video. I really appreciate it. And I hope we can network together, see how many people we can help. Peace and love.